The Amazing World of Gumball does something most shows would never dare. It tells you flat out that life has no meaning. But then it gives you about 7 completely different answers to what that meaning actually could be. So what's the answer really? Let's find out. It starts so simple. Nicole tries to replace sugar bomb cereal with something real, something that looks like medieval prison food. The boys stage their breakfast resistance, manipulating Nicole with fake gratitude while secretly hoarding their artificial paradise. They know they're being deceptive, but they also know it's at stake. They won't give up their last bit of manufactured joy before the adult world of real food takes over. Then comes the moment that changes everything. They eat cereal through their eyelids. Because why wouldn't you? And suddenly, they're flying through space, contemplating mustaches, cheese invention, and the existential uselessness of pigeons.
Look at pigeons! They don't get anything done, yeah!
But the high doesn't last. Reality crashes back, and with it comes the question that will haunt them.
What's the point of our lives?
They wake up in a park, far from home, Darwin somehow wearing handcuffs and sporting a butt tattoo. The artificial enlightenment is over. The real journey begins. That real journey starts by going around in Elmore figuring out what the meaning of life is, and surprisingly enough, they quickly figure out that there really isn't a meaning to life at all. Except, well, you'll see. First, they ask Larry what he thinks is the meaning of life. Larry represents the most common answer in modern life: meaning through productivity. He's organized, and his work gives him stuff like structure, identity, and accomplishment.
Work! It's important to be useful. Look at me, I got it all figured out.
But then something beautiful turns into something terrifying. When he tries to explain his perfect system, the words start repeating.
I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep.
And again, and again, and again. The repetition becomes a mantra, then a madness. Larry suddenly sees his life from the outside, an endless loop with no growth, no change. Just the same boulder rolled up the same hill every single day. Here's the cruel truth about the work equals purpose philosophy. It only works when you don't zoom out. The moment you step back and see the pattern, the meaninglessness hits like a truck. Larry realizes he's been mistaking business for purpose, routine for meaning. So he does what any sane person would do when they realize they've been living in a hamster wheel. He steals money, kisses everyone goodbye, and swims into the ocean. The work trap isn't just about Larry. It's about a culture that confuses productivity with purpose, that asks, what do you do, instead of who are you? When work becomes your identity, what happens when the work stops mattering? Luckily, that's not all there is. The next victim, Alan, offers something beautiful, meaning through kindness. Be good to others, spread positivity, make the world better one interaction at a time.
Meaning of life is to be good to others. If you help someone, then one day they might help someone else, and the world will be a better place.
It's the philosophy of every inspirational poster or self-help book written by Jay Shetty. But watch what happens while Alan explains his beautiful theory. Julius and Modown are literally destroying his lemonade stand behind him. When Julius announces that he's gonna beat Alan up, Alan throws his own face onto the guy's fist. The tragedy isn't that Alan is good about kindness. Kindness is genuinely good. The tragedy is that he's built his entire sense of meaning around expecting it to work like a vending machine. Insert kindness, receive kindness back, and the cycle will continue forever happily. Real kindness obviously doesn't work that way. Sometimes you're kind and the world punches you right in the face anyway. Sometimes good people suffer while terrible people prosper. Alan's philosophy crumbles because it depends on a universe that keeps score, that rewards virtue with virtue. But the universe doesn't keep score. Sometimes you get kicked while you're down, and the meaning has to come from the choice to be kind anyway, not from the results. So what's the answer to the meaning of life? Does Nicole hold it? She cuts straight to the heart of human motivation with brutal honesty. Life is either about domination or connection.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Or having a family. It's pretty much the same.
The demonic voice isn't separate from the gentle one. They're two expressions of the same drive. Whether you're conquering enemies or protecting family, you're exercising power over your environment. You're saying, this matters to me and I will make it survive. The mother who works tirelessly to feed her kids and the warrior who decimates armies are operating from a similar place. The refusal to let what they care about be destroyed. They're just doing it in the way that they think is the appropriate way. Some people find meaning in building empires and expanding and hurting others in order to guarantee a strong future for their own kind. Others find it in just building their own families. Nicole's wisdom is recognizing that these aren't necessarily opposites. They're different applications of the same human drive to make something matter in a world that doesn't care, which is one of the more plausible pieces of advice that works for men as well as women. But sometimes you don't need anything philosophical, as Richard shows. He lives with beauty, shameless simplicity. The meaning of life is pleasure.
A feeling of total satisfaction and pleasure is the highest form of existence.
When Gumball just calls it stuffing your face, Richard doesn't even get defensive. Yeah, but philosophically, he owns what he is completely. There is something almost enlightened about Richard's approach. While everyone else tortures themselves with complex theories and moral frameworks, he's identified what actually drives most human behavior: the pursuit of feeling good and the avoidance of feeling bad. Richard's honesty is refreshing because it's unpretentious. He's not claiming his butter eating leads to cosmic enlightenment or social justice or anything so grand. He's not building elaborate justifications. He knows exactly what makes him happy, and he's committed to it. The shallow answer is often the honest one. Most of our grand policies are just elaborate ways of justifying our pursuit of pleasure and power and our avoidance of pain and subjugation. Richard skips the justification and goes straight to the butter sandwich instead. But of course, there is one more family member with a wildly different take. Anais represents the information age trap, meaning through total understanding.
To understand the meaning of life, you need to better yourself by learning as much as you can.
It's the philosophy of every person who believes that knowledge equals wisdom and wisdom equals meaning. Learn enough and you'll unlock the meaning of the universe and the secret to life. Read enough books, get enough degrees, understand enough systems, and life will make sense. But then her brothers ask 3 simple questions.
Would you rather kiss a dog or have a baby drool in your mouth?
Or would you rather have foot hands or hand feet?
Or how long would a person survive just by eating their own hair?
3 sentences destroy her entire worldview. Not because the questions are profound or anything, but because they're meaningless. And she realizes that most questions might be.
In just 3 sentences, you proved I don't want to know everything.
Anais discovers what every overwhelmed student or internet user eventually learns. There's an immense amount of knowledge to learn for sure, but there's also an infinite amount of nonsense to know, and knowing it doesn't create meaning. In our age of unlimited information, the pursuit of total knowledge doesn't lead to enlightenment, it leads to paralysis. So she abandons her quest for omniscience and joins Richard in blissful ignorance. But still, that isn't enough for Gumball and Darwin. Desperate and running out of options, Gumball does what any frustrated philosopher would do. He asks the universe directly.
Why isn't anyone able to answer our question? Tell me, universe, what is the meaning of life?
And the universe responds, with the most devastatingly cheerful song ever written. The planets gather around like cosmic guidance counselors, ready to explain the meaning of his pitiful existence in the form of a feel-good song. What they deliver is existential terror wrapped in an upbeat melody.
Your life just does not count.
They're not being cruel, they're being accurate. From their perspective, spanning billions and billions of years, human concerns are microscopic blips in the span of time and space. What seems enormous to us, like love and loss, and the enormity of life and purpose and meaning, doesn't even register on the cosmic scale.
It's hard to be objective, so we'll offer some perspective.
This is the heart of existential terror, confronting the universe's complete indifference to human meaning. Every worry you've ever had, every relationship, every person you've ever known, every emotion, every difficulty, it's all super important to you, but it's also statistically insignificant when measured against the vastness of space and time. The song continues for 4.75 billion years, ending with the sun exploding and destroying everything. From the cosmic perspective, even this moment of understanding is temporary. Everything ends. Nothing lasts. Your life doesn't count in the long term, not really. But here's where most existential philosophy stops, at the terror. It points out the meaninglessness and leaves you there, drowning in cosmic insignificance. Luckily, the question goes further and actually gives the answer. Because while the planets are singing their cosmic truth, something else is happening down on Earth. Gumball and Darwin, exhausted and defeated, sit on a bench next to Sussy. She's throwing mayonnaise at pigeons, the same pigeons that Gumball wondered about during his sugar high. Sussy doesn't offer cosmic perspective. She doesn't reference billions of years or universal truths. She offers something much smaller and infinitely more powerful.
Well, yes, you see, life's not about the destination, it's about the journey and making friends along the way. So really, the only true meaning of life is finding your own way to enjoy it.
It's almost embarrassingly simple. After all the philosophical complexity, the answer comes from someone throwing condiments at birds. But Sussy understands something the planets don't. Meaning doesn't have to be universal to be real. The cosmic perspective that makes everything meaningless is itself just one perspective among many. When you zoom back down to human scale, your Tuesday afternoon really matters because it's your Tuesday afternoon. Here's what the question gets right about the meaning of life. It's not something you find, and it's not some ultimate thing. It's something you create. And you don't create it by discovering universal truths or unlocking cosmic secrets. You create it by deciding what matters to you and just acting like it matters. You can work like Larry, be kind like Alan, have a complete paradox like Nicole, but keep it simple like Richard, or even go on an infinite quest to all knowledge in the universe like Anais. It's you who decides what matters, and that's what gives life meaning. The planets are right. From their perspective, nothing humans do matters, but the planets aren't living human lives. We are. And from the only perspective we actually have, everything matters, because we decide it matters. If you've ever felt crushed by the cosmic perspective, the question offers something that most philosophy doesn't: permission to zoom back in. Yes, the universe is vast and indifferent. Yes, you're a tiny blip in cosmic time. Yes, everything you do will eventually be forgotten and your existence will be entirely erased in the grand scheme of things. And none of that makes your life meaningless. It makes your choices more important, not less, because this is the life you got. The search for meaning creates meaning. The questions about purpose become purposeful. The journey towards understanding becomes the understanding itself. You don't need the universe to validate your choices. You don't need cosmic significance to justify your existence. You just need to find your own way to enjoy the journey and make some friends along the way. And sometimes, you need to throw mayonnaise at pigeons and laugh when your guidance counselor slips and falls. In a universe that offers no inherent meaning, creating your own meaning is the most courageous thing you can do. It's choosing to care in a cosmos that doesn't care, and to lead a statistically insignificant life that's worth living well. Now, if this gave you another existential crisis, or even solved one, check out our Adventure Time video on the same topic. They actually have a wildly different answer, and it's not what you expect. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think the meaning of life is. We'll see you in the next video.